down one. We were already down that one. She has been vindictive and spiteful and angry towards Democrats. She's attacked our infrastructure. I thought, certainly in the last primary, in the 2020 primary, that she would have been a lot happier if Donald Trump had ended up winning. She does things that are completely inexplicable. I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that she has any direct ties to Russia, but I don't know how you end up in a position where they refer to you as our girlfriend on Russian state TV.
You can't control that.
Yes, you can. You can control what you say.
How?
You can
go to Russia and tell them, please don't say those things?
No, you could do things like not go on television and say that what we're doing here in the U.S. in terms of the free press isn't that different from what's going on in Russia.
So as you probably know by now, Tulsi Gabbard officially left the Democratic Party last week. And I'll be completely honest, when I saw her statement, I got a little confused because I truly forgot that she supposedly was a Democrat. One of her biggest complaints in recent weeks has been the silence from the establishment left on what many see as an escalation in rhetoric, nuclear proliferation in the war in Eastern Europe. And it's stoking a lot of commentary from liberals that Tulsi has some connections to Russia that aren't just rooted in a desire to maintain peace. Jessica Tarlov of The Five lashed out at Gabbard's recent political actions, later going on to point out in this interview that, quote, if Steve Bannon and Donald Trump want you in their administration, you are doing something wrong.
Steve Bannon liked her so much that he had to get her a Trump Tower meeting right after he won the election. Why would Steve Bannon take such a shining to Tulsi?
Cheap.
So as the war in Ukraine presses on, let's take a look at a few other perspectives from the far right on how they perceive their relationship to Putin's Russia. We know Trump's stance on the Russian invasion. Of course, he thinks that had he been reelected in 2020, it never would have happened.
It would have never happened if I was president. If the election wasn't rigged, this would not have happened. Ukraine and Russia would not be fighting. It doesn't mean they'd love each other, but there's no way that they would be fighting. There's no way that Putin would have gone in.
And then we get swiftly to the Alex Joneses of the world, who echo Putin's own words, that the West as a society is completely crumbling, and the rest of the world is being dragged down with it.
Leftists really want to destroy the world in nuclear fire because you have a fetish for hating Russians and Putin because they've become a little bit more Christian. Again, they don't hate Russia because they're the former Soviet Union. The left hates Russia because they're becoming more like the American Midwest. They're becoming more conservative. They're against transgenderism and teaching 5-year-olds about sex and all the rest of this. So that's why Hollywood and the Rob Reiners of the world literally have a fetish for destroying Russia.
There's no question about it that we are in a proxy Cold War with Russia at this moment. And we all know the effects of this conflict could be complete nuclear annihilation. Now, I don't believe that Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian asset. This type of thinking only leads to further political stratification within America that says that people who disagree with us politically must be spies or evil secret agents. But there's no question that she's sympathetic to Putin's Russia. And comparing Russian standards of journalism and how they treat the press to the United States freedom of the press is completely ridiculous and propagandistic. Again, that doesn't mean she's a Russian asset, but those claims need to be called out, just as her visiting Assad of Syria does, and any other warmongering authoritarian leader she chooses to visit as well. Now that the tides have turned and she says something to piss off conservatives, she better hope that they will come to her defense because she is no longer the Democratic Party's problem. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.